Good morning, hello, and happy Friday. Um, Sitsu, hello. How are you doing today? Uh, I think I've got everything set up. Move the mouse down here. All right. Yeah, how are you doing, Sitsu? And Zilby's done eating. I brought some food down here because he didn't want to eat upstairs by himself. So I brought it down here for him a little bit. Also, he was complaining that it was too cold, mostly because we put it in a refrigerator. Anyways, he just finished that a little bit. Oh, and now he's up. No, Zilby, I'm not gonna go and play with you right now after stream. Okay, so I've got the app set up here from what we had last time. Making some good progress in your GitHub Actions, having caching working by replicating the Node.js API in Rust. Interesting. You're replicating the Node.js API in Rust. That's actually really cool. Caching in GitHub Actions has actually been really nice. I've enjoyed using that in the past. Okay, so let's see what we can do here. What are we working on? What are we doing? What's happening? Um uh Piotrek? Piotrek? Hello. Also, I'm sorry for mispronouncing your username. Um, but welcome, welcome, welcome. Okay, so we have our display out here, which we just did. I could just call you Pedo. Pedo? Pedo? Also, are you the same? Are you the same Pedo? Pet. I'm gonna say pedo. Uh, the implementation is technically internal, but shouldn't change. Otherwise, everyone's actions would break all the time. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, there's not very many of them. That's true. Um, okay, so we have the display down here. The next part to getting Yewdux working before you can record our new tutorials is we want actually have the README that we're going for here. We want to now create a button to increment. This should be relatively simple. Source. I want to create a new, let's call that increment.rs. Whenever I'm not getting help from Rust Analyzer, that's making me very suspicious. So let's go ahead and restart that. There we go. I'm getting this now. I think it wasn't working for some reason. Probably because I was just creating and I was bringing in the different Yewdux lessons that we have right here, so I can just go straight into them and use them here instead of opening up multiple VS codes like I was last time. Okay, so we have this up and running. If we go to increment, we're going to use prelude. Do function component. No, wait, no. We're not doing function components for this one. I keep on forgetting. So we are doing pub struct. Analyzer likes to break down sometimes. And then don't we all? Yes. That is a feeling. Okay, pub struct. This is increment counter, increment count maybe. So something I think we sort of noticed, I don't believe we need to store anything in. Is that true? No, we do need to store stuff internally for this. We need to store, in this case, I don't need the count, I need the dispatch. So it's going to be pub dispatch, and your type is dispatch, which means I need to bring in Yewdux prelude, counter store. Pull component for increment count. Okay, message. We have to have a message for this. You haven't watched anything related to this course, but you'd like to know, why are we going with struct components? Very good question. So in the course, I would say 90% of the course is all functional components. But to be thorough, and because there are points in time where it makes it a little bit easier to reason about, or if you just don't want to use function components, I just include sections on them of how to do stuff in struct components. So my introduction to Yewdux part has struct components in them. So I want to make sure that people can sort of like set up and use them. And then we go to Yewdux functional, and I think this one to... Oh, this is also a struct components. Now, the new version of Yewdux is really switching over to showing functional as like the primary way of doing things, and it doesn't look like they have very much documentation as to the struct side of things too. So I think this is going to be like doubly important that we have that. Okay, so we need a enum message. This was like a store, and it stored, okay, what did we do here? It was, oh, it stored state with this RC counter store. That's what it was. So we have state RC counter store. And then the other thing is, because we're going to be sending a message up to update, whenever we click a button, we're going to have just like button clicked. Okay, so message is MSG. Properties. We don't need anything for properties. Create. Okay, so we're going to do that. Struct components makes much more sense to you. You don't really like function components at all. Right, and that's like a big thing, is that it's each person's preference is going to be what they program with, and there's no invalid way to make web apps. So I feel that it would be doing a disservice to not have like something in there, especially since it feels like there's been less and less information on how to do struct component type stuff in the community. Okay, so create, let's... Right, what was this? I haven't internalized this yet. Okay, so we create the oh, right, we have to create the dispatch by doing this sort of style with the dispatch. Okay, got it. So that dispatch equals dispatch. I think we just do the type. Yep. So this is the counter store. And then from here, we do the get, or we do the... subscribe. That's what it is. Subscribe, and then, oh, and this thing is a little bit odd. it's the context link callback, and then we pass in message state. So CTX link callback message state. But then it's not passing anything in, we're passing just that in. Okay. Is this too many? It's one open, two open. Yeah. Just one of these. You recall there was a discussion where they wanted to remove them, leave them as an internal implementation detail. I think there was a little resistance, though. Would have to find the issue again. I hope that they keep them because we want to be as open to like all different styles of programming as possible. And with something like a framework, like a front end framework, especially if you're trying to mirror what React is doing, that's kind of like it's kind of where it kind of want to do the same things and sort of like match what they're doing. Maybe if React were to make the move to get rid of class components, that would be huge. And then maybe I can see the argument for doing it, but even then I might still not like it. Even though I'm like, I just want to do everything functional too. I'm right there with you. You're coming from C sharp, but you're convinced by the functional approach. I'm not coming from C sharp, but I'm convinced by the functional approach too. I really like it. Okay, so I've got the dispatch now, so I can create the self, which is dispatch is. Oh, is it just dispatch? I think it's just dispatch. I just store the dispatch. Okay. All right. So then for the view, we're gonna have an update in here too. Um, you never wrote a line of JavaScript and you're glad you can do front end without it. So it's kind of funny because several people have asked me why, like, why is why Rust for the front end? Like, why do something like you? And it was three use cases. One of them I put in was don't have to use JavaScript. Like that's an actual logical choice reason for going with that direction. And it's kind of funny, but at the same time, it's now doable and it's now a plausible reason. And so I remember there was years ago when WebAssembly was first coming out that was like, yeah, I it's really hard to imagine still not having to use JavaScript a little bit at the very least to stitch things together. But now, like even though WebAssembly it's not WebAssembly that's improved, it's all the tooling around it. And it's I'm like I have changed my opinion on it. You can now make fully featured web applications without touching JavaScript, and it's great. Okay, so view. So I want to display. Let's do a but. Let's do our HTML first. Oh, Pito. There is a new extension which you may not have seen. It's that I'm using here, uh, which gives me. I'm trying to think and type at the same time and talk, and it's not working. U highlighting. Add syntax highlighting to U HTML macros. This was released. I saw it on Reddit, and it was also mentioned in our Discord. I'd have to find it again, exactly where it is. But if you go to the GitHub for it, can I actually copy? It's not really okay. that copy is not really helpful. Where? Oh, there it is. Okay. If you go to the GitHub for it, it has instructions for how to install it. So it will let you have actual like HTML highlighting. There's some things where it's not perfect on, but it's certainly a lot better than what you get before, which is great. However, it's a manual. It's not part of the store yet, so I don't feel like adding it to the courses yet because it's such a is the thing. I'll probably have to disable it when I do the recording so that people don't go out and search about it. There's no instruction there, really? I thought there used to be instructions. Oh yeah, I don't see that in there. What was? Oh, I forget. I forget the method of installing it now. There's something you have to do where you like download. Is it under releases? Hold on, let me find releases. Oh yeah, you have to download the release, and then you can like install manually through some like do something like this. Install from Vizix, and there the Vizix file is in the release. Okay, so view. What are we doing? We are okay. So we're going to start with an H2, and we're going to throw in here increment the count, and then we're going to have another div, and we're going to put a button. And you are going to be, actually, I don't even know if this is necessary. Let's just go straight to the button. Button. Increment count. Okay, and the big thing here is that we're going to have an on click, and I need to send this on off. Okay, I constantly forget how to do this in this type of thing. So let's go to you. Was it callbacks? Oh yeah, it is. Okay, so we're gonna use context link. Oh right, that's what it is. Context link callback, and then we pass message clicked. Okay, so on click equals okay context link callback. We don't care about this, and we're just gonna return message button clicked. Okay, that's great. Here I want to add in function update. So we have the message coming in here, and then we have our context, and so we're going to have to match the message. I don't know if I really care about the state being changed like this. So I'm just going to have an underscore where I just don't do anything. But if the button is clicked, we want to now update things. So we're going to say self dot dispatch dot reduce right. Okay. So there is I want a reduce mute. So there's these two new things here. A reduce is more like and so I don't know if you've all used like Redux, or any of the other like centralized state managements from just JavaScript land. But a big part of them is to be functional and to you don't mutate the state in order to change it. Although that's being changed a lot now because they're using some magic behind the scenes to basically make it immutable, but you can sort of mutate it, and it looks like you're mutating it, but it's not because you're using immutable JS behind the scenes. Similar things like we make it work in a similar way here, where if I do reduce like this, we take in a function, you take in the state, which is this RT store. So let's actually call this the counter store. And I need to return a brand new counter store. So I'm going to do, first I have to clone this out. So let counter store equals store dot as ref, and then we clone you. I need to make you mutable. Then actually, at this point, just returning a brand new one because it's so little is probably best. So let's return a new counter store. Count is really going to be counter store dot count plus one. Like that's what we could do here. But I think it makes more sense to do dispatch. Oh, no. Reduce mute. We get counter store, which is now a mutable counter store. I don't need to do anything like this. I can just mutate it. So we can just say counter store dot count plus equals to 1. That's it. Don't return anything. And we use count increment now over here. So there's our display count, and let's do a increment counts like that. You are unhappy. What are you unhappy about? Expected Boolean found. Oh, right. So update is supposed to return a Boolean if things updated. And I think that in this case, I can always return false because the I don't care about this component being refreshed ever. I only care about the display being refreshed, and that one is gonna to hit. It's only a button, exactly. Okay, so save you. You're upset now. Oh, the trait-bound counter store clone is not satisfied. Implement clone for counter store. Okay, I can do that. Let's go back into the store. Where did... Okay. I don't need you. All right, no more errors, just a bunch of warnings. So if I come over here, you're not doing a thing. All right, what did I miss? I'm not getting any messages here. So let's well, first of all, is trunk still working? Trunk is working. Um I have the on click right here. Now that should be sending it. So let's start by this is the reason why I do the practice run. Like I practice this before I do the real lesson. Um okay, so let's do the update here. So I'm going to I don't even have glue, do I? Let's add glue in. Oh, and oh yeah, this errors out every time it's rebuilding before it rebuilds, which I think is a little bit odd. That only started for me recently, so I wonder if it's a new thing with Rust Analyzer. Okay, so I should be able to do glue console log, and I want to put in updating, and I also want to add in. Oh, if I could just add in message. Going to reference to the message, and let's derive debug. Counterstore doesn't implement debug. Well, I might be able to do that too. Okay. Oh, fine. It doesn't know how to do. Okay. I'll do a format. This is why I always end up creating my own um, logger type stuff. Format, and I'm going to throw in a reference to message. Okay. That's rebuilt. Oh, so look at this. Updating state, counter store, count 1. Okay, so what's happening here is that the we're updating the state. We need to now tell the state, we need to tell this component to refresh when this happens. Now I don't believe that I need you to be true, but just in case, let's let's try that. This is I want you to be. It's in counter. It probably is in counter. Let's try. Yeah, let's go there first. Also, okay, there we go. Counter. No. Uh, display count. That's what it is. Um, okay, so I have. Oh, I'm just reading the self.counter to count because it doesn't know to. It doesn't know to refresh. Okay. Well, I have this subscribe on, but I wonder if I need to do an update. And I wonder if I need to subscribe. How does subscribe work? Create a dispatch that subscribes to changes in state. Latest state is sent immediately, and on every subsequent change, automatically unsubscribes when this dispatch is dropped. I was hoping that I wouldn't need to store the dispatch, that I could just store the counter, but I think this just does it once. So that gives me, I kind of wish that it gave me more, like it gave more information. Okay, so dispatch get let's store the dispatch too. Is a dispatch. Oh, wait, this is enum. I want you. I want dispatch. You are a dispatch for counter store. Dispatch. Okay, so function in here. I want. Now I'm getting subscription here. I am putting in the counter. We cannot use store here. So the use stores, like those hooks, are only for function components. That'll be next. I'm doing this one first because I'm doing an order that I did the lessons in. So I'm doing the hard one of the struct components first, and then I'll do the function components, which is actually, everything's so much easier. Okay, so update, we do dispatch. So if I do self.dispatch dot, so I can do get, that gives me the store. This is updated automatically. I wonder if I just need to. How bad would it be if I just did a self dot counter I could like re-get it. Self dot counter equals self dot dispatch dot get. But I don't know if that would properly. I need to know whether or not it has been updated, and this is not telling me. So in subscribe, creates dispatch that describes the changes in state. Latest state is sent immediately, and every subsequent change automatically unsubscribes when this dispatch is dropped. Oh, wait. It sends this, doesn't it? Oh, that's what's going on here. It sends the new message. I think I get it. So we're gonna match on message. We get the message, the state. So this is the new state. And so therefore we now replace the new state here. So self dot counter equals state. And then in this case, we also return true. So like that. And there's really nothing else that's happening in here. Okay, so if I do that, no errors. There we go. That's how we do it. So I was a little bit confused when we were first doing this as to like what was happening in subscribe, but I think I get it. I get it now. So we're doing this dispatch counter store subscribe, and then this takes in context link callback. So we're basically saying when anything changes, run this callback and pass in the message state, which You notice that we're not passing in the store here, even though this requires it. So they're going to basically call this for me whenever the counter store updates. Therefore, I can catch it here, replace the internal store if I want, and then read it down here. So that's sort of like the what's going on here. And then that's it. That's what we got. So to unblock you, we can take a look really quickly at Yewdux functional. Let me go ahead and fix these warnings. Like what are you? So your dispatch is never read. That's in display count, right? So I don't actually need that there. I don't need you. I don't need the context here in this update. Nor do I need you in the view here. Or in this update. I don't know why I brought in deref. No longer need the logs. And, oh, right, these are from all the other things that I've got. Okay, we don't need that. Yewdux store. Oh, this is part of Yewdux functional. So let me do the exact same thing. The messages makes much more logical sense to you. It does to me too. Like it makes sense, and I can see it actually passing back and forth. And I feel that it's a little bit more like events in Angular 2 Plus or Vue, which is actually really nice. Okay, so let's do the exact same thing and sort of recreating what the Yewdux functional is going to be like. So I guess I'll do the recordings probably on Monday. But okay, so Yewdux functional. Let me close everything down. Don't close you that. Exit out of view. The Docker stuff. I'm not even using the Docker stuff here, so I don't really need you. Let's just make this go away too. And you're all good. Okay, so like learned Yewdux struct with structs. Okay. Now, next up, we're gonna do Yewdux functional. Same exact thing. So, trunk serve. All right, so first thing I want to do is I want to just verify it's working as is. This is the original one that I did from the lesson. So password for login. Okay, so got all that stuff. It's all good. Okay, so Yewdux functional. So I'm going to now when doing this, I want to restart from scratch. So we're going to take out display, login. There's no need for a router. I'm going to remove the store. Okay, so for you, get rid of you all. Get rid of you all. And just start there. And then main is happy as it is. Okay. And then cargo.toml. We do not need Yewdux functional anymore. And we're going to update Yewdux to 082. I don't need urouter, websys, wasm bindgen. I shouldn't need glue or stylist. Okay, so the first thing is, um, if we want a account, like we could do the counter app again, or I can do the form inputs. Maybe the form inputs are a little bit more complex, and so that might be good to have in here. Why are you upset? Has not been built yet. Thank you, Rust Analyzer. Okay, so let's start with just verifying we have here. Okay, so we have our app. Let's put in the form. And I could do the same form that I had before. So we'll do a login form.rs. Okay, so use prelude star. We're doing function components. So this is form. I don't need any properties coming in. So we're going to return HTML. You have this approach with new Yewdux already done. You wonder how much it will differ from your code. Well, let's see. I also didn't actually sit down and review what it was that I did previously. I just sort of deleted it. So we'll see how different it is now. Okay, so we're gonna start with let's do a div to sort of hold this all together. This is never going to be the root element, but it's probably going to be like a secondary root, like a secondary element. So h2 is going to be fine here. Yeah, we'll need a form as well. Oh yeah, probably putting this in a form in here would probably be good. Let's do that. Do form. All right, so for you, we're going to have a login. Didn't realize I still had my second cursor going. All right, so login, we're going to have div. We have a label for equals username. And this will be username. We'll have a div. And then this will be an input type equals text. ID equals username. I don't really necessarily think I care about anything else in here. So if I just start with that, I should see that going, but if and only if I actually pull it in. So use login form, and let's throw you in here. All right, so here we go. We have our username with that. Let's continue to build this out. I kind of like putting in another div for like a form group. Just to make it really easy to sort of like see where things are. And if I copy you at that level, now I have another one. So this is username. This is going to be, let's do our password. Password, and your type is password. Okay. And then finally at the bottom here, do another div. Placeholders also are nice. Yeah, we probably should put a placeholder in here. Let's take the ID. Okay, so copy you. Placeholder. Okay, there we go. Div, we'll have a button. Yeah, we don't really need them, but we'll put them in. It does make it look nice. Okay, so in the button here, we are just gonna have submit, and we'll do the on submit on the form itself. But just to make sure it looks nice, here we go. Okay, so we have username. Let's do. I need to tell you to stop trying to autocomplete for me. So hold on 1 second. Settings. Why are you trying to autocomplete? I usually turn it off, but sometimes I notice it turns it back on. Never save logins. Just don't do any of that stuff. Autofill. Don't autofill anything. Okay, let's try that. Okay, so I have this again. There we go. Now I need the store, right? Well, I guess like maybe a submit button to sort of handle this. So we're gonna have I think it's on submit. I think that's what it is. That on submit equals it's gonna be a callback from. Oh right, it's multiple things. There's we'll do the on submit last. I think with each of one of these, I want to update it as it goes, right? So like on change. So let this is going to be username on change equals, okay, so that's going to be in, this will be our callback from, we are going to have the event, which I always forget what it is, but you usually helps me with this. And then we're going to have like what we do here. So this is, we're going to update the store with the new username. Okay, and we'll put this into here. So on change equals username on change. Okay, so your type is event. All right, so the big event here, I probably do want to have glue in here so I can like log this out. Let's put in glue. All right, so I forget exactly how I get it. It's like event dot target dot value. Can I do glue console log? There we go. Event. Okay, so here's the change event. I want to grab. So I have the target source element type change. So in target, I have. Can I get the value, or am I gonna have to like type change this? here's the value, but I don't actually know in WebAssembly if I'm going to have access to this. So if I do event.target dot into prop value, oh, so it needs to know that this is an input type. So all those things that I deleted previously, like WebSys, HTML input, I need that. I don't need you. So hold on, let's do this again. I need you. Don't need you router. I need WebSys. I believe I need wasm bindgen. Glue will take you. So why are you not letting me go up to the latest one? Why are you doing that up there? So there we go. Let's just get the latest of everything. Make you all happy. Okay. All right. So I need to oh, wait until it rebuilds. There we go. Okay. So I get that event.target, but what I really need to do is turn it into an HTML element. So this is going to be essentially the username input equals, and I forget exactly. Okay, so it's like there's a way. So it's like, is it WebSys? Oh, I completely forgot how to do this. Luckily, uh, you has ways to do this. I just forget exactly where in here it is. Oh, it's in callbacks, isn't it? Maybe? No, it's not. Oh no. I have some uh link blocking in from Nightbot. So it looks like it got that doesn't even oh, it has a dot in it. I'm sorry about that. Event target unchecked into. Yeah, that's what I want. I forgot if I was doing event first or target unchecked into first. So this is gonna be event dot target dot unchecked where okay so HTML okay so do target event target e dot target oh dot expect wait target oh it's an option that's why okay so unwrap dot there we go unchecked into thank you for that uh I will I'll bring in the Yewdux prelude when we need it okay so this is going to be an HTML input element like that and then I just want the value that gives me the string and let's now console log that this is the username input. Let's just make sure we get that right. And then we'll bring in Yewdux prelude. We also have to create the store. So so why are you doing that again? I literally just fixed you. I told you, stop. Okay, autofill is off. What is doing that? What is suggesting the older stuff? I have no idea what that is. Um, okay, so I can close that. I don't know why it was constant. It's been like trying to put in my like all my usernames that I've used in the past for stuff. Okay, but this is working, so we have that in there. Bullfirst Dad, hello. You just wrote a 2-page, fully cited report on language processing in one day with caffeine and a deadline. Anything is possible. It does feel that way, doesn't it? Okay, so if I have that, time for the store and time to bring in the Yewdux stuff, as you were mentioning. Okay, so I want to do under source. I'm going to create a stores. Um, Now the reason why I'm doing the stores plural here is because um, the new sort of recommendation with most front end frameworks is that you have multiple stores and they're really small and sort of like tightly bound to whatever they're like um, whatever goes inside of them. So like an authentication store, for example, or the counter store or something else. And that way you don't refresh very much of your app. You're just only refreshing little bits and pieces of it. Okay, so I have that store here. Let's go ahead and do a mod stores there. What was that? That was let target element equals event.target unchecked into HTML input element. Really? Hold on, let me try that. It's super tiny font on this other screen. Uh, so what was this? This was event dot. Okay, so let's throw you in here. Are you able to figure that out, or do I? I think I need to restart Rust Analyzer. Okay, so we do event target unchecked into. Guess I had read the documentation and sort of like got set on like the target. Did you do the thing? You're unknown. Do we need like dot value? You're not helping me, Rust Analyzer. I don't have any error here. Am I like halfway through writing something? No, I just created the stores. I just have you. So that should be fine. I don't know why this is upset. You are successfully running. That's still working, doing its stuff. Just to make sure it really is a new build of this, let's try console log. Yeah, it is. Okay. So yeah, this works extremely well. I like it. Okay, so I don't need this anymore. We know exactly what this is. You're a string. Um, we'll come back to that in a little bit. Let's create our store. So we're gonna do a we'll call this the auth store. Okay, so we need a use Yewdux prelude star. We want a pub struct auth store. And we're going to put in a pub username is a string inside of here to begin with. We'll also have a pub password is a string. And I think the last one was we were going to put like a token in here. So pub token is a option string. We are going to derive store. We're going to derive. We could do debug. It doesn't really matter right now, at least. We need partial equal. We need clone. We need, what else do we need? Default. Okay, so come back to you. Use Yewdux prelude star. All right, so I need to get the dispatch for this. So let our auth store equals, we're going to use the use store. Ustore Yewdux functional. You take in a type. So this is going to be the auth store. That. Oh, right. And this is how it works now. So we take in the auth store and then the dispatch. Okay. Then, okay, auth store dispatch. Let's password dispatch. Then we're going to bring that in here so we can dispatch into it. So we need to move. Now we want to bring the dispatch in. So let's just see how that works. If I do a dispatch reduce mute, we're gonna take in the store, and I want store dot username is equal to username input, like that. You're not yelling at me, which is good, I suppose. And if I run this, okay, no major errors. That's a good sign. We need a viewer. So let's create a new component for sort of like auth view. rs mod auth view. So login form. Okay, auth view. Use you prelude star. Use Yewdux prelude star. I don't need any properties coming in whatsoever, so I don't need that. Just go straight with the function component. Auth view. Okay, so we'll start with good old div. We'll put in probably an h2, and we'll say this is auth info. do another div. And let's throw in, I could do a div, I can do a p. I don't know if it really matters. Let's just do a div. And in this case, I'm going to put in the username. So we're going to have username. And I want probably a span to just hold this in here. So span. And this is where we want to now display that out. So I want that store dispatch equals use store. This is the auth store. Like that. Okay, so I have the store, so I should be able to now just throw in, I want store dot, I want store dot, username. There we go. And I don't need to take ownership of it, so just a reference to it should be enough. Okay, so you should be happy here. And then let's take in this auth view and use it down here. So okay, so back up to here. Here's our auth info. Username is that. If I type in you, bam, it shows up. So we'd be doing the exact same thing to password next. So I believe we have everything already set up here for us. So in the login form, we just need to do this again for the, this is going to be a password. Is that equivalent to a reduce mute callback with? Essentially, yeah. Essentially. So password change equals this event. This is now going to be password input event target unchecked into. Okay, this is fine. So we get this out. Dispatch reduce mute. We get the store dot password is equal to this one. And then you are password unchanged equals to password on change. And so what are you upset about? Oh, yeah. So now problem. I moved the dispatch into here. So I believe what we can do next is clone it at this point. So we'll wrap you in a block, and we'll say that dispatch equals dispatch.clone. And we'll do the exact same thing here. So that way we don't have to worry about it. It's all good to go here. I still need the dispatch to do it. So even if I was doing reduce instead of reduce mute, I still need dispatch moved into this callback here. But if I was doing reduce callback with, maybe, possibly. I'm trying to remember if I can do callback with to have it, because I need it inside of this callback here. But either way, this is returned out of this block. Okay, so we're good to go here. this updates the password. So then in the auth view, let's throw this in. We'll do password. So we'll have Brooks, my great password. That's being stored in here. Okay, we need a token next. So let's go ahead in preparation. Just put in a token. Now, what's interesting here is that this token is an option, and I can't do a reference to that. But I also don't want to take, so option doesn't implement display. So let's do an unwrap or default. So that will be just an empty string. And I don't want to move out of an RC. So I could do store.token as ref. Then you are, oh, because like it's this stir doesn't have that, so I can then maybe clone you here. Maybe oh, it's the wrong one. So store, oh, I probably want to do, okay, so store, I want to get the token. I want to clone you. Maybe I can just clone the token out like that. There we go. That's what it is. Oh, would it as dref work? Maybe. Let's try it. Let's as dref. So you are option. Okay, so it's a stir here. Doesn't implement display. Let's try then an unwrap or default. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so as dref instead of as ref. Right, because we're derefing the token out. Okay, so then we have this. We want to, oh, stir. Okay, so static stir has a static default, but reference to string doesn't. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense. Okay, so here we have our token here. When we hit submit, we want to create the token. So in login form, we want to now create our let submit. I think it's on submit. So we need the dispatch. Then we're gonna create a callback from so I don't actually, well, I actually do care about the event here, and you are I keep on forgetting exactly what type of event that is. Let's throw you in here, and then hopefully Rust Analyzer should tell me. Where's my form? There you are. So we'll do an on submit. It's a focus event. It's kind of funny that Rust Analyzer figures this type out, but then I need to still put it in here for the compiler. Okay, so I'm not using anything yet. The first thing to do is to prevent default. There we are with that. Once we've prevented the default, the next thing to do is to create the token. And we can do a little bit of validation here too. Like maybe we don't create the token if you don't have a username and a password. We could grab that out, so we can just do let like auth store equals, can I get that? Dispatch dot, I can get you to get that, and then we can just say if not auster dot username and not authstore dot password. Although your It's really if this dot is empty. Okay, so if you're both empty, or probably or. So if either of you are empty, I want to just like glue console error and just say like username or password missing. I should do something with styles here, just like as a nice message. Steven, hello. Okay, so we do that. Then the next thing is we now know that they're both not empty. Let's go ahead and create our token. So let token equals, I don't think I really need to do like a random number generator in here. This is not really part of that. So I'm just going to kind of just make a random token like this. That's great. And then we're going to, okay, so we're going to say dispatch. That is empty. Hold on. I want to do this outside of here. I also want to return early. So this is now a guard clause for us. So if we get to here, we're good to go. We create the token and we do a dispatch dot reduce mute. We have our store, and I want to say store dot token equals some token. Let's to own this too. And there we go. You're upset. Closure may live out the, yes, I need to move that. All right, no errors. So if we come back to this, all right, let's try it. So if I put in rook, well, 4, and I hit submit, we get our token. Awesome. Okay. And that's basically what I had for the original one, but now it's been updated for the new version of Yewdux, which is exciting. Okay, so I think I'm pretty much ready to recreate the lessons, but I've run out of time, so I can't actually re-record those now. That will be Monday most likely. And then also I found it was reported in Discord that there's some other weird little errors that we had in the project for the introduction to U course. So I might want to look into that this weekend, see whether or not I need to re-record any of that stuff. Or if I need to put it into sort of like a message saying like, hey, I'm aware of this. This is, don't do what I did. We'll have to sort of see. And I have to decide whether or not I want to keep the old version of the videos for Yewdux or just replace them. I'm leaning into keeping them because there might be some people who have no choice but to stay with an old version of Yewdux. And in that case, having those around could be helpful to them. And then maybe like adding this as like another way, like just a introduction to Yewdux version, whatever. So that's my thought on this. Anyways, that's all going to be next week problems for me. So hopefully this has been helpful to you all. I am behind on uploading these to YouTube. I'll probably get to it this weekend. But until then, I am going to head out and get some of my day job stuff done. So with that, have a great rest of your Friday. Have a good weekend, and I'll see you on Monday. And you said ending. There we go. Have a good one. Bye.